Hey guys, what is going on? It's Zando, and today's video is going to be our account or state of account, I guess, review. And if you guys haven't seen this video or this style video before, basically it's where we talk about our account, kind of what we're farming, what our current thoughts are in the game, just sort of a kind of way for you guys to see how I'm thinking about the game. And I'm doing these videos because one, I think that's valuable to people, right? To see how certain players are approaching the game. But two, I'm also looking for feedback on how you guys are approaching the game too. And I think that just makes for better, rosters and players and such like that. So that's why we're going to do this. So thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have given me. If you guys like these kind of videos, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up and then subscribe to the channel, as it definitely helps us get to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting really close, guys. It's finally looking within reach, and it's going to be a pretty cool milestone once we get there. So I appreciate all your guys' support. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, let's start with like kind of the overarching stuff, right? So I've been running this team here since basically it came out, and I got Cat. This is the meta, this, especially now that he's got his buff, which he got last week, I believe. So this is the meta. I know some people are starting to cycle in KAM here, and they said that it feels really good for damage wise, but from what I've noticed, when KAM is in there, the AI, I think, like, kind of, I don't know, it's like they kind of spread out damage, and then there's more likely the chance that one of the other guys kind of goes away. But the other thing though with that team is, while yes, the damage is nice, again, I think that KAM isn't as tanky as Gas is, and so I've just left Gas in there for now. Maybe I'll change my mind, but it just feels like, one, he's tanky, he's kind of hard to deal with, so maybe it buys your team some time. And two, when the AI plays it, like I said, they kind of focus on him. They kind of leave these guys alone, and losing one of these guys is okay, but honestly, many times I just finish with all four standing. So I think I'm gonna leave this one in for now. This is my lineup that I've been doing for Fleet Arena. It's hard to say how good it is against my current, my fleet shard, because of I'm the only executor in the shard. But what I will say is that kind of the reports back as I think this is the best overall lineup, especially for stopping rebels and stuff like that. This is the best. So gonna keep that in mind, I guess, moving forward. This is also kind of what I think a lot of people are setting in GAC as well, which is kind of different than JMK Cat, right? Like, there's a lot of time people will set like Mace Windu in here, and they're not going to set Gas, right? They maybe put like JKA or something like that, right? So it's a little bit different. Last Grand Arena season, we went 10-2. We had a unfortunate run-in with a cheater, and then after that, now that once I knew I didn't have a perfect season, I on the last fight of the 12th match, I didn't throw it in. I just tried to get a lot of the feats, and by doing that, I lowered my score substantially, and we tied. I couldn't believe it. We tied, and then he won because he had more GP. So but this season I'm starting off in Division 1. I actually got a pretty cool matchup early on, for those of you guys that know Mio Baka from Hosky Patrol. He's my first matchup in Division 1, so it's gonna be kind of cool. But yeah, other than that, I am still in Alpha Squad. Very good guild, TW based guild, but we obviously are decent at TB, because little to my knowing, there was 49 people in our guild during TB, and we still got 30 stars, so pretty good. And the only reason why I know that is because I messed up really poorly in phase 2, and I used my Jedi on a light side node when I thought it was the Jedi node, and I messaged my TV officer, and he's like, "Don't worry about it, man. We're undersized, so we're not gonna be pressing for stars." So yeah, pretty good guild. Very happy with them. learned a ton from them. So yeah, other than that, I think that's going to cover kind of, you know, the wrap up of kind of the past events. I guess we'll talk about crystal economy. So as you see, I can get first place in both arenas. I normally get it's either first or second place depending on the day, because I share my payout. So right now I'm doing 3 refreshes on Cantina because I must have made a mistake. And I'm gonna want to reiterate this to anybody. If you ever think that you're ahead of the game on signal datas, I would highly suggest you keep at least farming them, like not just from the free energy that you get. At least do like a 100 or 200 crystal refresh if you're trying to stay up with the metas. At this point, we're hitting so many high relics that it's the signal data that's like I'm basically ready for Lord Vader, but I don't have enough signal data, right? And there's other guys that need more relics. Like I want to put JKL up to R8, and it's really the R8s. Like there's a ton of drainage that comes with that, right? To bring a character up to R8. So looking forward, you know, we're already kind of getting into R9s, or looking to, you know, on the lookout for R9. So I know a lot of people are wary for what might come from the R9, and I'm one of those people. So yeah, so I do 300 crystals basically for Cantina refresh. I do the 350s for regular energy. However, right now that's not happening because I'm basically just hoarded up and I'm ready. And so that's typically what I do. And then I do 3 for mods. Always do mods. So between if I was doing regular energy right now, all that would be about 600 crystals right there per day. And again, you know, we just, like I said, we just got, you know, 30 stars, so that means I got 900 crystals back there. So it's like some of those influxes right now, that's where it definitely feels good. As far as crystal economy goes for me, I have been dipping in, and I've probably been gonna start dipping into more of the ship refreshes just because that's where Omega is, but she's not really kind of my farming priority right now. So let's actually go into what we're working on and what we've kind of been working on. Because yeah, that's kind of important. So KAM's not up here, but we recently I was pretty far behind the guild because I joined them pretty late, but I did get my KAM up to 7 stars, right? I have offense set on him and crit chance set. Still haven't really got to use him yet, at least like in the way that I want to use him. So definitely looking forward to this GA season to use him in the ways that, like, again, I've been so envious of seeing. So that's that for me. Like I said, I took him up to R7, and I knew that was going to delay my Lord Vader even more, but he's so important for me in my Jedi splits and how I plan on running my offense and defense this season. It was a no-brainer, especially whenever I realized like I would rather have KAM than have Lord Vader at this point for me personally in my roster. So with some of the extra relic materials though that I had, I went ahead and like upgraded Hunter, Wrecker, and Echo and Tech, because those are requirements for Lord Vader that I thought were, that, you know, they deemed necessary. And this is I plan on using these guys in this upcoming GA season. So yeah, like I think that they're gonna be a big part of how I play on the offense. I mean that's where I feel like they're gonna go. We also got Omega released to us. I haven't farmed like any bit of her. I got the pack, you know, basically to put her up to 4 stars, but I haven't really messed with her ever since. So let's talk about really what our end goal is right now, and that is of course Lord Vader. I think the last time you guys saw this, I was actually a few gear 12s down here. I've since got them to gear 13, and KAM actually kind of stole a lot of Embo's gear, but again, I would do it again in a heartbeat. Like the difference that KAM makes to my roster that like Embo just can't do, It's huge. So a lot of this stuff that I'm missing, I'm pretty close to it, but it's just all the purple, you know, salvage, right? And I think again, some of this stuff, right, like we're going to be able to buy and purchase through these means as much as possible. And now with TB rewards coming back to us, like I'm definitely on the lookout, more so than I was before, because I had actually used up all my get one. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, so like stuff like this, we got a pretty big increase in get one again, so I'm gonna be purchasing it again, and hopefully we're able to kind of get back on the right track. But again, it's not the gear so much. Like I said, I'm, you know, one guy away. It's the relic levels. I couldn't even increase these guys anymore due to the fact that, well, I guess now we got some more from the TB rewards, but like I couldn't release some of the, or increase some of these guys because of you know, signal data. So that's why I'm trying to tell you guys, if you guys are anywhere near me, or like if you guys are, it's sort of like, I feel like what I'm trying to do is like tell a new player about the credit crunch and not upgrading certain characters because you're not going to use them. Like that's what I feel like I'm doing. Like I hope that enough players are watching this that you guys will not make the same mistake as me and not refresh your canteen if you're in the ability to try, like being able to, like I said, it doesn't have to be 300 a day. It could be 100, it could be 200, whatever seems to make sense to you. But I'm just pure out. Like that's, I mean, I still have so much more to go. Like it's not really even close. So again, that kind of brings us into what am I going to do in the future. Now you can see here, I've already started my energy kind of hoarding for Vader, which I should probably grab these right now before they go away. Guys, so I have 20,000 crystals. Actually, I should have more than that now that I got first and all this stuff. Yeah, so I still have some refreshes to do tonight, so I'll have probably less than that than what's on the screen. But basically, I have the Executor at 5 stars right now. The way that I'm going to move forward, and I think the way that I'm going to be the most competitive, is by just pushing through in a couple days, right? We have the Executor farm coming out. Let me see, where do we go for that? Events, right? So we have this coming back, right, in 3 days and 3 hours. It's gonna, if I remember right, it's gonna take me 18 refreshes, which is like 17,000 crystals roughly, like real rough beer math. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like I know it's gonna extremely hamper me as far as crystals. Like I'm gonna be back down to like the 2000s area, but at this point, ships is such a high, I play for GAC, and ships is just such a high banner differential, right? Like whether that's TW or even ships in general, like you only get one zone for them. There's super high banner wins if you can, you know, swing it. And at this point, like I said, I just think that like having a 7-star is totally worth it. It's more worth it than getting another Galactic Legend for me. And especially because we are finishing up Conquest, and I guess I should probably talk about Conquest a little bit too, but we're finishing up Conquest right now, and I did get the max crate. I spent a lot of crystals kind of refreshing early on. I finished this like 4 or 5 days ago now, just so that way I could have peace of mind, which I'm probably going to continue to do, by the way. Like it was basically 3 refreshes a day for the first week, and I think after that I kind of like started limiting myself off to like 2, and then to 1, and then to 0. And again, because of how grindy this event is, and just like kind of resetting myself, I'm gonna probably do that same strategy again, what I did, which was just go as far as I can that first week, and then just the next week just spend it doing the mindless task of, hey, win the same battle 14 more times or 13 more times or whatever, and just kind of let it just pass me pass me by, because yeah, this was a grind for sure. But yeah, like that means if they do a week in between, that's already 2 weeks from now, and then there's 2 weeks for each one of them, so it looks like about 6 weeks from now is when the first players should get Maul if they have done everything correctly. And to me, again, like that means to me that I've got at least 2 weeks before I need to start basically unlock Vader's event, and then that gives me about 2 to 3 weeks to farm up his shards and his ultimate, which I think is about right. And then it gives me about kind of a week or so to just gear him, and then another week to just kind of save up gear for Maul as much as possible. Because that's really all I'm worried about at this point, right? Like at this point, like it's like Vader doesn't seem like he's bringing anything to the table that the other galactic legends can't solve themselves. And so really I'm not super rushed into getting Vader. Now again, I kind of want to have him with his ultimate running at optimum modding and gear level and all that good stuff once Maul comes out, because obviously that's just one less thing for me to worry about whenever Maul comes out. But I'm really not rushing Vader at this point. So I don't know, guys. I think that's probably enough rambling from me. I hope that made sense. Like, I hope that, like, again, that keys you in on kind of what my plan moving forward is. We'll see if it deviates at all from where we're going, but that's just sort of how I'm allocating resources right now. I really think the next time we get this, I'm just going to drop 18 or whatever it is, 1,000 crystals and get Executor to 7 stars, because again, I think the difference between 5 and 7 stars is huge. It's big for GAC. Ships are very, very important. And so, yeah, I want to make sure that I do well in that area and keep that. I mean, I can't guarantee that I keep my squad arena payout, but what I can do is I can guarantee that I keep my fleet, and I think that's really important. So, like I said, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it was a little fun and maybe cause you to think about what you're gonna do and how you're gonna split up your resources and all that good stuff. And yeah. There's a ton of remodding that I did, by the way, but because we probably ranted too long about what we're gonna do in the future, I'll probably have to explain that in like our next video. So and it would be good too, because then I'll at least have 1 week of GAC to kind of say like, hey, this worked, this didn't work. But thank you guys for watching, guys. If you guys, like I said, if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, it would mean a ton if you guys did. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.